All right, and last but not least, we have Tumblr. Let's go ahead and sign up here. This is really simple. Alright, that was pretty quick. Need to verify your email address. There is our email address verification. Reload that page, see what we got. Cool. So, really not into telling them what I love. Check out your results. Fantastic. Wait, what? Fair enough. So find some friends. I'm not going to tie it with my Gmail or anything of the sorts. So here we go. That's really funny. So the first thing I'm going to do is unfollow all of our networks here, especially the 80s and 90s supermodels and vintage gal. Yeah, so nobody I know, following 0 people, spotlight, boom. Okay, so now we have a clear slate to go ahead and start working with. Let's get some stuff posted. Okay, so for this one, let's just grab some lorem ipsum and drop that in there and start working with the WYSIWYG editor. That's fun to say, WYSIWYG. Alright, let's throw a list in here. That's kind of weird. It did something kind of funky with the text size there. And it looks like we can edit the HTML source of this as well. That's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and try to upload an image and get that in there. So, oh, those are not the images for the test. Here we go. There's our Cedar River image. And a lot less control over what's going on with the image there, so good to know. And we can link, just a lot less featured WYSIWYG editor from things. And then down here, I believe this is the tagging interface, which is not intuitive at all. So there we go, and publish. So here's our #1 post, and let's go ahead and do another post here. And we're going to go ahead and just drop the HTML in for our style guide and see how that renders. And there we go. Yeah. Some of it kept, some of it didn't, for sure. And there's a lot of other stuff that we can throw in here. So let's just do a photo post. We're going to do Paul's photo again, just for that. And then we could do another logo. And there's a photo post. And then let's, we haven't done anything with a template. First off, so here's where we're at. Very minimalist, which is kind of nice. Title, there we go. So let's just say change our accent color to be something not purple. There we go. Make it autumny. Looks like it has support for discuss in here as well, which is kind of nice. Okay, so let's see if we can't come back and give ourselves... Oh, here's our themes. There's a lot of different things in here. All right. So let's save it, go back. And then we're advanced. We can add custom CSS in here, which is kind of nice. Post per page. We can add different pages. So here's our content management system. All right, and oop, we lost the page interface there. We'll try that again. And we only have an image URL field there. That's kind of odd. So, oh, actually, and that actually, that was weird. So we can upload a photo and then alignment, set our alignment left and dimensions. And create the page. And that's kind of awkward. You also have Google Analytics in here, which is kind of nice. So let's save everything and close this interface and go to our dashboard again. Well, that's kind of funny. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see about uploading an account photo. There we go, change avatar. Let's try the 150 padded. There we go. Have some general settings in here. Share posts with Twitter, Facebook on timeline, stuff like that. Cool. So that was already good, and set the avatar, which has transparency on the background. That's nice. So there we go. Let's take a look at what that meant for our theme, actually. Just set it right over there. So I'm sure there's other themes that we could apply to it. Let's see what we got, actually. Free themes. We'll just click on one and see what it does. There we go. Interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at our specifications and see how we're doing. User registration. Let's take a look at exporting data really quick and see what we've got. So one of the nice parts about Tumblr is they offer interfaces that they will offer the data off of your Tumblr that you can pull it in what's called an API, or an application programming interface. So an example of that would be on Project Unbreakable. Where we are custom pulling the images in with a Tumblr feed, actually, and then scraping those off of Tumblr and redisplaying that on the actual website. So that is good for that and getting data out of it. But let's go ahead and take a look at our settings and see if we can't get something out by the account. Pretty easy. I'm really not seeing anything. Alrighty, pretty simple. So let's go ahead and grade it. Alright. First off, registration. That's going to go ahead and get an A. That was an easy process. HTML and posts, yes or no. We get a yes on that one. Element styling control, A through an F. We're going to go ahead and get a C there just because of the WYSIWYG editor. Another C. Page and content management support. Another C. Quality of templates gets an A because of the diversity of how many are out there. Custom templating, it does allow. Image support, we're going to go ahead and give it a B just because it does have both gallery support on the posts as well as posts or within the WYSIWYG editor. Category and tag support, it's going to go ahead and get a B because I believe it only has tag support on that, but the plugin support, it's not going to have anything there. Overall customization, it's going to get an A. It has a lot of ability to be pushed a lot of different ways. And the usability on it is going to get a B. And the exportable data is going to get a B because it is there. It's available by interfaces, so backing it up would be trivial. However, it's not easily available through the free interfaces. So all in all, I'm going to go ahead and give Tumblr a B just because of the ease of use of the entire application. It also comes with a huge social network and user base that actually does peruse the content. So that has a lot of pluses for somebody that's coming to the medium looking for ways to expand your market actually. Whereas on Squarespace and WordPress, you would have, I would argue, less of a community following. However, WordPress still has a strong one. Same thing with Blogger. There's still diehards of all the different blogging platforms and communities. So, but that wraps up everything. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and I'm going to go ahead and post this our little comparison spreadsheet here so that all this data is out there on our blog post. Thank you very much.